Before I ask you to resume your all departed souls, especially Angela Sechua, the Political Science Department, who is being laid to rest this afternoon. May his soul and the souls of all the faithfully departed and the mercy of God rest in peace. Amen. You may resume your seats. I must commend you for your patience and time to this moment, but I would like to make an observation before we do any other business of the House. Certain behaviors and practices are not parliamentary and as such should be noted with so much concern. When we are in session, movement is highly restricted, and for any reason you have to move, you have to show the sign of courtesy. So please, let's take notes before we proceed to do any other business. After recess, that is a presentation of papers and secretarial reports. Honourable Member, are you filing a procedural motion? Honourable Member, are you filing a procedural motion or you're filing the motion?
Procedural motion, sorry.
Thank you, Honourable Member.
Yeah.
You may proceed.
From the revised Constitution 2018, Article 8 plus 2, Supra II.
Kindly make your submission within 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you. It says that the local assembly shall approve recommendations made on allowances or honoraria to be given to the executive officers and members of various committees or boards of SRC, including the local news. Example, vacation residence fees, including cost of meals and other living expenses, certain allowances of members at meetings, percentage of AFUF and RFUF to be refunded, etc., for the discharge of their duties. Based on these statements stated in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, I would like to file this motion, the procedural motion, on the recommendation made by the Financial Committee led by the Vice President, His Excellency Makete Odoi, that the submission should be moved for further deliberation or otherwise moved for voting before it is legally accepted by the House. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Any seconder? Honourable Member, point of information.
This was a Judicial Precedence. I second the procedural motion moved by my fellow honourable. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Members, on this note, the recommendation by the Finance Committee on the allowances to be given to the Speaker and the the Chief Justice of the Council is duly opened for further deliberations. If you have any contributions or submissions, we shall take a maximum of 3. And please do well to make your submissions within a minute, or you'll be out of order. Thank you. Before we move to accepting any submissions on the issue, Honourable Member, can you please tell us why, apart from the constitutional provisions, you are moving this House to deliberate on this particular issue, so that we have a clearer view of your point of view?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I saw from the submission that we are making that most of the local assembly members here were not satisfied by the recommendation made. Besides, the committee shouldn't make judgment on their recommendation. It is the local assembly members who made approvals or judgment. So these are the reasons why I am filing this procedural motion for further deliberation or on voting. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. So please, we shall proceed to accept views and ideas on the motion so filed. If you have any submissions, please rise and do so within a minute, and let's proceed. Honorable Member, yes. Kindly use the microphone because we are transmitting and we would want to have all the discussions live. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think, like I said earlier, we've extensively discussed on this issue before here. And the only thing left, if I'm right from the Honourable Member, is that we are to approve it here. So it is clear for us to put it to voting. If I'm getting it right, for us to put it to voting. So it is left for us to vote. And on what basis? We have not even decided. We haven't even come up with a specific amount for which we know the details, how much is given to who and what. So I'm confused here, so that we can clear up. Because the committee says they are going back, according to the Vice President, to look at it again. So I don't know what we have to approve here or to vote here. If I'm not. Okay, so Mr. Speaker, I think.
Honorable Member, you may resume your seat.
We can't put anything into voting.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Point well noted. Honorable Sandra. Thank you, Honorable Sandra. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you.
Please submit within a minute. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity given. Having taken a cue from the criticism, I am with the person of Secretariat now, Chief Justice, University of SRC Judicial Board Secretary, for your attention, my request. Mr. Speaker, the gentleman, the Honorable who stood up to file the procedural motion, it is as a result of dissatisfaction about the earlier motion move. That is why the procedural motion was filed. Meaning, what the financial secretary spoke about, he did not agree to it. So procedurally, there is a mistake. So there is a need for him to file that motion, so that actions will be taken to reflect that passage or that acceptance that was made in the at the earlier stage. So
Kindly wrap up.
So Honorable Sandra, it is not to accept what the financial secretary said, rather to open it up for more deliberation and a different opinion or decision. Thank you.
Honorable Members, if I am getting this discussion or conversation right, what I am beginning to see is that we are not possibly looking at the discussion on this issue. Let's zoom into what recommendations we think should be put to vote. So let's bring the recommendations rather than go into the arguments back and forth. And we are taking just 2 more submissions, then whatever actions that are right or necessary will be followed. Thank you. Yes, the Honorable Member in white.
Talking about recommendations, I'm of the view that as we are here talking about allowances, I am with a different view that why shouldn't we talk about incentives?
Kindly use the microphone well.
Why shouldn't we talk about incentives? Incentives is something that will motivate so
we are transmitting live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are making any submission and we don't get you on record, it will make the whole process a little difficult. So make sure you use the microphones. That's why we have enough to take care of all of us here.
Thank you, the speaker and the house. For me, what I would like to say is that when the financial secretary was presenting, he made mention that they will go back and relook at the decision, and moreover, they will be giving a remuneration after service. And you were all shouting "Esplasher." So I don't know whether the honourable member wasn't paying attention or whatever.
Thank you, Honorable Member. A last submission. Honorable Annabelle. Honorable Member, for your information, I wouldn't want to repeat myself on the use of microphones in my house.
Thank you, Honorable, for the opportunity to make a contribution on this case. So I would want us to have very quick dialogue around this issue before we even zoom on making a decision or not making a decision. So I'm looking at the office.
Meet further. During the first local assembly meeting of the semester, there was a recommendation or an issue raised that the Speaker, who is the head of the legislature, and the Chief Justice, who is the head of the judiciary, should be given a monthly stipend. That is a responsibility allowance, which upon further deliberations, it was agreed that, or the Speaker made a ruling that the Finance Committee goes to sit down to make recommendations for consideration by the House. So this was the discussion. So upon the submission of the reports, a honorable member feels dissatisfied about the recommendations that is brought. That's why he has filed a procedural motion. And when we file a procedural motion, the idea is that a decision has been taken and you are not comfortable with it. So you file that the issue is really looked at. So please, if you have any submissions, kindly make them. And if we are going to be limited by our discussions, with so much due respect, and not trying to deviate from the purpose of the motion filed, let us look at on what basis or which people were recommended and where the recommendations are headed. Because if there were any other recommendations that came, that wasn't within the House. Honourable, are we following? The House made a recommendation for 2 officers. And for now, let us work within that scope. Thank you. Yes, Honourable, so you may proceed with your point.
Thank you, Honourable. So I wanted to be clear on the offices that we're talking about. So in this case, we are looking at the office of the Speaker, and we are looking at the office of the Chief Justice. We are looking at the offices, not the individuals who occupy the office. So I want to ask a question. Are we passing a resolution to the effect that this is going to be a payment for the office for this administration, or it is going to be a directive that is going to be binding on successive administration? That is the first thing I wanted to clear. On the second one,
Honourable Annabelle, I would also want to put it back to you in question that as a political science student, you know the functions of the Legislative Assembly. So if a decision is made in the House, does it bind only the current or it binds the future? You may proceed. Thank you. We are not looking at the reports of the Finance Committee. It is a deliberation by the House. So it's going to be a resolution and not a directive.
That's very right. The second point I wanted to look at is whether this resolution will take a retroactive effect, because the administration started somewhat the criminal aspect, and here we are. So if we are looking at monthly stipend, are we going to count from the commencement of the administration, or we are going to continue from when the resolution is passed? Because from our basic political science lab, laws would or resolutions would take retroactive effects. So if this is going to take retroactive effect, then it's going to do that.
the earlier indication that the recommendation was on the, if you looked at the minutes for the local assembly meeting last, in January, the recommendation was for 2 officers. And I am aware of 2 as per my paper. Please, I am dealing with the paper I have here. Yes, Honorable Samuel.
Someone say, speaker, please, we just heard from the vice president that they have exhausted their budget. Whether we accept it or not, I don't think vice will change his mind. And
Honorable Member, let's not go into the argument because the vice president is not the budgets.
okay, and
Budgets are recommendations. Please, yes, proceed.
And it was recommendation that we can recommend it to the next administration. That one they can even decide not to put it in their budget. So we should vote whether we should.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable House, once again, my name is Purity. My submission is the issue of the allowance for the Speaker and then the Chief Justice. We are all in Ghana and we know that there is separation of powers. And when you take a country, for instance, the President, the Speaker of Parliament, and the Chief Justice, these are positions you don't joke with. Because when these positions are influenced, it affects every aspect of society. So I would think the Honorable House should vote, even if it's not going to take effect with the current administration, that upcoming administration, it should be a law. At least we can have a space for it in the Constitution that the Speaker and the Chief Justice should be given monthly allowance, because they are separation of powers and they work with the SRC president on the benefits of the students. So we can decide on an amount we will be giving them monthly and we vote on it, even if it doesn't take effect right now. But in the upcoming days, I think it will be able to take effect.
Honorable members, let me make this submission. If we are going to argue on this issue, we would stay here forever. What I would say is that before any decision is made or any resolution is passed finally, the issue was brought at the first early. That was the submission of the budget. And if there are any corrections that are supposed to be made, if I am right, in finance, they are supposed to take effect from when the recommendations were made, kind of. So we would re-put it back to the finance committee, or for the purpose of equity and fairness, let the House set a committee from now to make appropriate recommendations so that we don't burden the finance committee with having to relook at the same issue again. So on this note, Honorable Mina.
President is the head of the finance committee and he knows what goes in the
last submission before my decision on this issue. Thank you. Piero.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker, for such an enviable opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I think enough time has been given to the Finance Committee to make their recommendations in any case. We are very much aware of how the nation's budget is being financed. If the Finance Committee claims they don't have resources to look at that, then they should go and borrow to finance that. Because we have instances where the state budget will they run on deficits and they borrow to finance the balance of payment deficit as an economic student. Mr. Speaker, I think that enough time has been given to them and they can even stop other projects if the LA has made a determination on state. Because the local assembly is the highest decision making body of the school. So I think I will go with your suggestion. A motion should be put on the floor for acceptance, whether or not it should be referred to the Finance Committee again, or the local assembly should set a committee to make determination on that. A whole about 1 week, 4 or 5 months have been given to Finance Committee before made a determination that the ability should be given back to the floor. In fact, 4 times a day.
Honorable Member, please, you may resume your seat. Thank you. Please, you may resume your seat. Point well made. Thank you, Honorable Member. Please, kindly resume your seat. Honorable members, let me sit here and contribute to this particular debate in a way that would sound biased, but for future reference. I am a political science student, for which reason I know the tenets of government. We ought to always remember that in government, there are 3 arms of government: the executive arm, the legislative arm, and the judiciary. And constitutionally, it is the same order in which the portfolios run. That is why in the absence of the president and the vice, it is the speaker that runs the country. And in the absence of these 3 principal officers of the country, it is the Chief Justice who runs the country. That is why the executive arm has to come to the House to present to us what they have for us and for appropriate recommendations and resolutions to be made on those issues. In studying political science, we have what we call judicial precedence, or we have what we call the precedence. When something is said or done, we can always make reference to it. And we have to know that the constitution of the university takes its roots from the Constitution of the Republic. Where did we get the office of the Speaker or the Chief Justice from? We took precedence from the National Constitution. So, from where I sit and from a personal perspective, let's not make arguments that are sounding very biased. I didn't want to contribute to this particular conversation because it will sound as if I have a personal interest. And for which reason, I would recommend at this moment that a motion is filed for us to set up a committee to make the appropriate recommendation. Even if it is not taking effect this year, it should be a resolution that is binding on the SRC. And I would want to make this very clear. We are not backtracking on this particular thing because we have to set precedents that are right. Thank you very much, Honorable House. Honorable House, the Honorable President wants to make a submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why you are bringing us back to what we have already discussed.
Your Excellency, please proceed to make your point.
Mr. Speaker, when you check Article 12, Clause 12, Clause 3, Subclause 8, it says the Financial Committee is supposed to check the management of the finance or the money in our account. sat down and we realized the money there is not enough. And you know from the previous administration, they were not having something like that. But what the House is saying is very right, it's very true, and it's right. We have to do that. But I am saying that we can recommend it to the next
Honorable
administration.
Honorable Vice President, please make your submission within 30 minutes. 30
Next
seconds.
semester,
Sorry.
my committee will sit down on it and know and bring a decision on whether.
Honorable member, I don't think that decision lies with the committee this time round again. So please, can you resume your seat? The LA is the highest body when it comes to student decision making. And if there's any recommendation from the House, it is binding on the committee which falls under the LA. Thank you.
An honorable member said something concerning Article 8, Clause 2, subclause III.
Honorable, kindly wrap up.
He is saying that money given to committee head should be given to them. But when you check the Constitution is not focusing on only allowance. But then we pay hostel fees to all committee heads, and we also give some kind of allowances. All across. It's not focusing on monthly allowance. So I want to clarify that.
Thank you, Honorable Michael. Thank you very much. There's the honorable member who filed the procedural motion.
Right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Uew Src, Association of Mathematical Education Student President.
Proceed to make your point, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please, our Presido is Excellency Nankete.
Please kindly address him appropriately. He is not a presido.
I think he is now resuming the position, so for the right time for me to address him as the president.
He is not presido.
Alright, if so, our Excellency,
Kindly address him appropriately. Thank you, honorable
His
member.
Excellency, the Vice President, Nankete Odoi.
Thank you, honorable member.
Yes, he was making reference from the Constitution that the Finance Committee has the right to manage the affairs and funds of the SRC. It is correct though, but in the rank of position, that is the reason why the local assembly responsibilities come first before the other positions. So with this motion that I filed earlier, it was stated that the local assembly has the right and they are responsible to approve any recommendation. So if a recommendation is being made by the Finance Committee, it lies in the hands of the local assembly to approve before it can be accepted. So what my Vice President is saying, I don't agree.
The appropriate recommendations on the procedural motion so filed, that they will make appropriate recommendations on the implementation and the mode of disbursement for the allowances or the stipends due the Speaker and the Chief Justice and any other officers of the SRC as so deemed by the committee. Thank you very much, Honorable House. So on this note, we are forming a 5-member committee to regulate this particular action. Honorable Mina.
Mr. Speaker, please, I permit me to know if it lies within the Speaker or it lies within the power of the LA to recommend whether we need a committee for this or not. And yeah, thank you so much.
Honorable Amina, I did say earlier I'm a podcast science student, so for which reason I'll be in a better position to teach you or recommend this to you, if I'm right, that the legislature has a right to form committees to make appropriate recommendations as and when necessary. And if you are not entirely clear, you can read on the functions of the legislature after here. Honorable Hafiz.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for favoring me. Please, I refer you to Article 6, subsection II, which says decisions affecting finance. The local assembly shall be the highest decision-making body of the
Honorable Member, kindly requote your article. You said article.
Article 6.
Article 6.
Yeah, decision-making. Page 67.
Is that Article 6, Honorable Member?
Article 1606.
No, you go to page 67, right?
Page 67 is not Article 6.
Article 19. Article 19 clauses, subsection I and II. I read. The local assembly shall be the highest decision-making body of the SRC, and all issues concerning the students shall be decided at the local assembly. II. Decisions affecting finance and other delicate issues at a meeting shall be determined by two-thirds of majority of members present and voting. Thank you.
The House. Honorable Hafiz, thank you very much for drawing our attention to this. The reasons we wanted to make this easier for all of us is, even if we are voting, on what are we voting? There should be some appropriate recommendations made to this effect. So please, we are not against the voting, or we are not against the numbers voting. Let us form the committee. When the committee sits down and bring their recommendation, we can vote on those recommendations. Honorable members, we shall proceed to form a 5-member committee. And this will be the composition of the committee. Order, honorable members. There shall be a rep from the SRC Executive Committee, honorable. Order. There shall be a rep from the Student Legal Society, which is headed by the Council Attorney, to make appropriate legal recommendations on this particular issue. And there will be 3 other members so nominated from the House. So let us proceed to make the appropriate recommendations. Council.
Mr. Speaker, please, I would like to draw attention to the fact that the Council Attorney is not the President of the Student Legal Society.
Thank you for the correction.
For the Legal Affairs Committee.
So there shall be a rep from the Legal Affairs Committee. Thank you. Honorable Member Addendum. I think we have to quickly finalize this issue and move to the item of the day. This issue is drawing us back so much.
Thank you, Right Honorable. In the person of Ishmael Abdul Fattah Kamara, an accredited observer, Mr.
Order, Honorable House.
Mr. Speaker, I'm guided by your wisdom.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
And forgive my naivety. Mr. Speaker, this is the House of Record, and I'm much pleased to avail myself to them. And that's why I plead for you to forgive my naivety. Mr. Speaker, I have in my hand an order paper for this specific sitting. And in the order paper, I actually cannot locate the specific item or subject under discussion. Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I'm guided by your wisdom. If an item is not on an order paper and a person wants it to come to the floor, rightly so, a person can come with a procedural motion. However, if that issue was an issue and have been part of the records of this House, any member that want to bring that issue cannot come with a procedural motion. A procedural motion is actually filed in the process. That is why it's called procedural. So that means at that point you won't get a time to bring a written motion. But in the event where it is not in the processes, a written motion is supposed to be filed. I will be guided by the House.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Please kindly wrap up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I will be guided. In as much as I will be guided, for me, I will urge members to and the Speaker respectfully to try to also say something on a question raised by the Lux Women Commissioner. Mr. Speaker, I'm guided by your wisdom and forgive my naivety. The Speaker is not a member of the House. The Speaker chairs the House. And so the Speaker don't take decisions for the House. The Speaker respectfully hold on to the decisions of the House and guide the House. Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I'm guided by your wisdom. I'm not grateful.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Members, for the purpose of our gathering today, and not to be dragged back, let us look at forming the committee so that the committee makes the appropriate recommendations. Honorable Members, I wouldn't want us to skip this item without making a resolution on it. Your Excellency Hanan.
It's a strange man speaking in a strange land. Yes, we have gone with this issue. We need to draw conclusion to this issue. Forming a committee and allowing the finance committee to come assess on this issue boils out to the same thing. The decision of the committee is not final. The decision of the finance committee also going back and coming to report to the House is also not final. So let us allow the finance committee to go back and take the decision and come back and report to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable. Kindly hold on for the microphone.
Yes, I think like Your Excellency stated, it will boil down to how many recommendations from the two committees or whatsoever. Mr. Speaker, the program of this House today, which we are trying to have a program with two is that we think that you are imposing a committee voting as to whether the committee should be formed. It has come to me. I don't know how, whether even form a committee, we must put it to vote, or it is the discretionary powers of the Speaker upon the recommendations from the honourable member to form the committee, for which I know, upon the recommendations from the honourable member, it is the discretionary powers of the Speaker to form a committee. That one it is allowed. But what I would advise is that the two committees are going to bring recommendations. It will boil down to being nothing. So I suggest that we should not even raise tempest by forming a committee and advising, but rather give our ultimatums to the finance committee on the matter, and ultimatums usually to them on the matter, to come out with something which we can advance with immediate effect if possible, rather than forming a committee to raise tempest. At the end of the day, it will be like we are imposing something on local assembly members or even the SRC executives on what to do, which they know that in their office, according to them, they don't have anything in their office to cater for the resources.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Shadrach Addendum.
Thank you, Mr. Professor. Another opportunity. Mr. Speaker, this vital information is very clear to my heart. Mr. Speaker, the 1 minute we give to others as compared to the 1 minute we give to certain people, it's like the dollar and the Ghana cedi. We are all one. Our one is easier.
Honorable Shadrach, please make your point, because you are equally exhausting that 1 minute by making this comment.
As I said, Mr. Speaker, it's very clear to my heart. One is easier than the other, and that is why I'm going to. Mr. Speaker, let's take cognizance of this. The Speaker is the leader of the House. And to say we should form a committee is not by any way imposition. Now, when you go to Ghana's parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Abel Suwan Akinfo, has directed that they are not going to allow any business of Ghana's finance committee, that's the regulator, until they render accounts to parliamentarians or parliament. So the Speaker, as the leader of the House, can give a directive that no, this has gone back and forth. As a result, a committee should be set for deliberation. So they report back to the House. So argue what you do. Argue what you do. Argue what you do. In as much as the right honorable Speaker is not giving you much time to come out with your views. I don't think it is entirely an imposition. For instance, this in the House, it has been brought back and forth. The previous
Thank you, Honorable Shadrach. You may please resume your seat.
Thank you. I think it's like I had 1 minute.
Thank you, the House. My learned colleague Ismail, I love the wonderful submission. But then, being a learned colleague from political science and a senior of mine, I would also speak to this issue in that the title rights comes from the fact that whatever is said here is right. In as much as you might not agree, it is right. So if there's a recommendation here or any decision that's taken here, in as much as you don't feel comfortable with it, it is right. I am looking at the comfort of our own selves. That is why I am saying that I didn't want to comment on this issue initially, because it will sound as if I had a personal interest. But I would want a precedent that will be binding, because I am a political science student and I wouldn't want to leave a precedent in the House that is not government. Because we are here to learn and learn well. We are learning leadership. We are learning politics. What are we doing here? We're all duly elected or nominated in a way to serve. So if we are here, let us do the right things. Let us learn them and put them in their rightful places. It is not on the emotions of people. It is not on the personal feelings of people. It is on record. Please, let us take notes. We are not making this recommendation, and I am not personally interested in when it will take effect. But then there should be a resolution on this issue, and it should be binding on the House, because this is government. Because when you read on the functions of the Speaker in the Constitution of Ghana, he enjoys privileges as enshrined by the Constitution. So our Constitution has its own deficiencies, but for which reason we will not limit it. That is why we say it takes recourse to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you very much, honorable members. So on this note, we shall proceed to form the committee which will make the appropriate recommendations on this issue. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable House, we are forming the committee. Boss Africa, if it is on the formation of the committee, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. It's an information committee. Please listen to the voices of the people.
And what is the voice of the people?
The Vice President being the chair of the Finance Committee, you gave the Finance Committee a task. They didn't go and sleep. They brought a recommendation. If the House is not happy with the recommendation, what do we do? Since they brought, let them go and sit down again and come again. Now, this committee that you are going to form, are they going to sit down and bring a solution, or they are coming with a recommendation? They will still come out with a recommendation. And what we stated, we are forming a committee. This committee is going to deal with in this committee that we want us to form. Don't forget, the Finance Committee is the advisor in terms of finance to the SRC. Please, Mr. Speaker, once again, listen to the voice of the people. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, I think this issue is dragging us back so much. So please, for the purposes of our time, Finance Committee, once more, go back to your drawing board, bring your next recommendation at the next local assembly members. Honorable members, I sense a sense of mischief in some of you, but it's normal. Honorable members, on this note, the Finance Committee shall proceed again to relook at the issues and make recommendations, and it shall be looked at during the first early meeting of the second semester. Honorable members, order. On this note, we shall move straight to the presentation of reports. And on the presentation of reports, honorable members, let's take note that any committee that comes or that mounts the podium to present the committee, to present their committee report is entitled to do so within 5 minutes, because we have spent so much time here and we are not going to do another half night here sitting. So please, when you mount the podium to do your presentation, kindly do so within 5 minutes. So we shall call quickly on the local nooks Secretariat to come forth with their reports. Before the nooks president makes his submission, what we will say, or what I will say here is that if any committee brings their reports, we shall limit the questions or submissions on that particular report to just 3, so that we wouldn't spend the whole day arguing on the same issues. So please, we are taking 3 on just 3 submissions on any of the reports, and quickly we'll proceed from here. Thank you very much. So, Honorable President, kindly proceed to read your report to the House. You do so within 5 minutes.
The Right Honorable Speaker, Kumbuja Crispin Faxon, His Excellency Michael Odoi Tete, the SRC President for Ejimoko Campus, His Excellency Abdul Hanan, His Able Vice, the good people, honorable representative of the good people of UEW, the media, beloved observers, all protocol due observed, I greet you with the Islamic salutation of peace, which goes like, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of the Lord be upon you. It is a privilege to stand before you today to update you on the state of affairs at the local Uew Secretariat for first semester. From the very day we were sworn into office, the local Uew Secretariat, led by my able self, has never relented on the mandate that the student has democratically entrusted in us. As such, we have taken out serious projects, serious and very important projects that are geared towards the welfare of the entire student populace. To start with, registration of birth certificate. The Secretariat realized that most students on campus do not have birth certificate, others are having the old model of birth certificate. For that reason, we were able to lobby the birth registry to reduce the price for students while they are on campus, but they can acquire this birth certificate. Alhamdulillah, some 98 students have successfully had their birth certificates, others are yet to receive theirs. To continue with, passport application. This was inferred after the Secretariat made a notice of students who are at the verge of getting scholarship, but due to the time interval, most students end up not getting these scholarships. So we decided to bring the passport registry to campus. I must say, some 535 students have successfully gone through the passport application process and they are awaiting their passport. Moreover, Honorable Speaker, permit me to mention the Nooks Campus Drive, where students who wish to have license whilst on campus could go through the process. In fact, the Secretariat have been able to reduce the price drastically for students. Let's take note of the following. We have license A Premium. That is a license for motorbike and tricycle. At the DVLA, students are to pay 900 cedis. But we have been able to lobby it down for students to pay 700 cedis for that license. We have license B Premium. That is a license for all private cars and cars that take passengers from 1 to 15. At the DVLA, students were to pay 1,200, but students of UEW are to pay 950 for that particular license. We have license AB Premium, the combination of what A can do and what B can do. The actual price is 1,400. Students of UEW are to pay 1,100 for that particular license. The above development is an indication of an unrelenting enthusiasm to help champion the welfare of students, as promised. Mr. President, Honorable Speaker, the Secretariat have again lobbied to reduce the cost of learning. We realize that a student might be there who is in need of the license but do not know how to drive. We got in touch with the driving schools and we learned they are supposed to take 1,000 plus before somebody can learn how to drive. Again, we lobbied the DVLA. A student is supposed to pay only 250 Ghana cedis to learn how to drive whilst on campus. Moreover, it's Ghana card. Again, we realized that when government instructed that every single Ghanaian should acquire a Ghana card, most people could not do it before they returned to campus. Again, we took it upon ourselves to help students register their Ghana card whilst on campus. Those who have got their Ghana card but unfortunately have lost the card, we have again assisted them to replace their Ghana cards. Once again, we speak on the same card registration.
Honorable Member, you have less than 2 minutes to finish your submission.
All right. Again, the Secretariat have been able to lobby to bring the network service providers to campus so as to enable students to re-register their SIM card. In the first 7 days of the registration, some 10,052 students were able to re-register their SIM card. The network services include MTN, Vodafone, and Airtel Tigo. Last but not least is the student loan. For the past 2 years, I must say, student loans have not been in existence. Most of these students depend on this loan to pay for their accommodation, their school fees, and their upkeep. It will interest you to know that we are only 2 institutions currently in Ghana that have started benefiting from the loan after it has been dormant for 2 years. That is University of Education, Winneba, and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. There was much to let the Honorable House know about the local Uew Secretariat, but I realized that the Honorable Speaker is saying I have only 5 minutes. For that reason, I will avail a soft copy of the details on the LA platform so that honorable members can peruse. Thank you.
Honorable member, in practice, if you are given the time as a honorable member and you want an extension, when the time is up, a honorable the speaker calls for a honorable member to file for the extension of time. So we are not sacking you. So when your time is up, we would ask a honorable member to file for the extension of time. So please, if your 5 minutes are up, I would ask a honorable member to file for the extension of time. So you may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, in fact, constitutionally, it was incumbent upon me to update the House on every single national assignment I have undertaken, including all the Central Committee meetings and Uew Congress. So being a constitutional rule, I believe strongly that the Secretariat wouldn't have been mentioned in addition to the people that will have 5 minutes.
Honorable member, that is why I did say that you can file, we will let a honorable member file for the extension of time. I don't want to believe you are going to get emotional about this.
No problem. Honorable House, I would want to stop here. I'll avail the soft copy of the LA platform for you. Thank you.
Honorable member, I have not asked you to resume your seat. I said proceed. I would call a honorable member to file for the extension of time. So please proceed with the reports.
Honorable Speaker, I'm done. Thank you.
I think the House just observed what happened, and I will leave it for your own judgment. The House, we shall proceed to the next item, the Local Women's Commissioner's Report. Please, who come, kindly do so within 5 minutes.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Your Excellency the President, honorable members of the Executive Committee, SRC elected executives, the media, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good day to you all. On the 10th of September 2021, to which I was democratically mandated to lead the students of this noble university as the Women's Commissioner to spearhead the affairs of the students in assisting and finding solutions to women-related issues. Following this, the school formally went down on 24th of September 2021. The office of the local Uew Women's Commissioner took no rest ever since, but has been working tirelessly to ensure the execution of the duties and responsibilities which are mandated as enshrined in Article 10. Fast forward, the office of the local Uew Women's Commission took the chance to hunt for sponsorships to help in the day-to-day smooth running of the activities of the Commission like every other ready organization does. Thus far, we chanced on a few opportunities. We had a rapport with some big brands and companies who were ready to have a relationship with the Commission. It wasn't easy getting these brands on board. Neither was it easy for these brands to get us listening ears. Unfortunately, The economic hardship that before the companies at a period with a hiking tax continuously during that period, also and the strike action that sprang up at the beginning of the semester chased these grants away. However, the Commission is still optimistic to have a business relationship that will still be helpful to the day-to-day activities of the Office of the Women's Commission. We could not have undertaken any initiative or program without reintroducing or creating the awareness of the existence of the Office of the Local Nooks Women's Commission to the entire students. This was as a result of the experience I personally had during the campaign period. It would shock you that we have students at the levels of 300, 400, not knowing that there is an existence or there was an office like the Local Nooks Women's Commission. So this purpose was achieved by making an appearance at the orientation at the various hall. On the 26th of January 2021, the Agri Hall President and the revered executives invited the Office of the Women's Commission to their annual orientation at their hall level, which we took opportunity to reintroduce and make known of the office to their noble affiliates. It was really exciting moment as it opened the door of the Women's Commission to the ladies so they can register their concerns to be addressed, finding a solution to problems in connections to their activities of welfare. Notwithstanding, we had the same experience at the Gati Hall orientation, where we put forward the impending activities of the Women's Commission. It was pleasing to hear that the men registered their interest and support to the commission. As a fact, that led to the idea of forming a gender commission. And this is from my heart. I know it will take another constitutional review for us to have some things changed or added to the constitution. But I'd like to recommend that if possibly the next review of our constitution, we could have something like a gender commission, where we both fix every gender needed necessarily. Because when you make the idea focus on one side, it affects the other, and even affects the side to which you are focusing on. So I believe that once we are able to recommend or give the Office of the Women's Commission a higher status of being a gender commission, that is when everything will be encountered in terms of men and women and other gender who are also in the world. This is just a recommendation from my office. And I believe it will come to a reality when there is a constitutional review or amendment, which you all know will take some time. What's more, the same experience was met at the University Hall and also made an appearance at the Simpa Hall. Therefore, on the 28th of January, we called on all women and the entirety of students' populace under one umbrella through a summit, which we dubbed Female Student Summit, where the Dean of Student Affairs, as the chairperson of the aforementioned program, made an appearance through the Vice Dean, Dr. Chinela Daniels. Here, we invited some people from the Futu municipalities who were so much important to the education of students. That was the Ghana Library Authority, which came in. We had lecturers who were also
Honorable Amina, kindly hold your peace. A honorable member from the House, kindly file for the extension of Amina's time to another 5 minutes. Yes, Council. Kindly give her the microphone.
Hi, Honorable Amakudia. I'd like to file for an extension of time of 5 minutes to the time of the Women's Commission's report.
Any seconder? Motion upheld.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
So on the 12th of March 2022, we had a partnership with Guinness Ghana Obasiba Summit, which was themed Progressive Portrayal, Building Capacity for Innovation. This was a campus store, and this campus store, all universities in the central region were supposed to lobby to host this program. Unfortunately for us, the Women's Commissioner was able, with the commission, to lobby for us to have the tour here in this campus. And I can remember we read Guinness Ghana and Obasima right from the entrance to Jeffos and Amwame. So just give me this, I did well. Mr. Speaker, we went further to collaborate with the Gender Mainstreaming Directorate and the Grassroots Gender Commission, UW, to have a leadership seminar themed Leadership in the 21st Century, overcoming biases and stereotypes. This was to put together the students, both gender, to come together and not to see the office as an integral part of just focusing on women, rather a gender war. That is why we aforementioned that if it will be recommended, the next review of the Constitution, we will have a gender commission rather than the Office of the Women's Commission. So we were able to give our participants certificate to recommend them and to also give them their inspiration to always come for such events, because you don't only make it in your lecture hall, but you also make it at such events. The Office of the Women's Commissioner did not end it there. The office was able to lobby for time on Radio Windy Bay, which was dubbed Time with Hukom. This actually was to put spotlight on our female students and to give them some exposure when it comes to other side of life, and not just, moving from one lecture hall to the other. We were able to lobby for time with Hukom on Radio Windy Bay every Monday, 9:20 to 9:50 p.m., which we gave spotlight to female student leaders or a normal student female who was just there. We could have done it to men, but then, since, again, as the Women's Commissioner, we gave the focus to them. We are not being biased here. Moreover, the office opens its doors to everyone, not only females, but males also, who may need our assistance. On Thursday, 16th of June, 2022, the UW Local Conduct Women's Commissioner led 40 students, and among the 40 students, we have 6 males and 34 females to the National Theatre, Accra, to attend the Guinness Ghana Obasima final round at the National Theatre, which was again themed Progressive Portrayal, Building Capacity for Innovation. The program highlighted the need for women to build capacity in an ever-dynamic and competitive world, where one has to be prepared for opportunities ahead and not the mere rhetoric of being a female, and also should be given opportunities due to one's biological disposition of a female. An empowered female who has built up a capacity will be able to make positive impact in a male-dominated dispensation and give credence to women being worthy of taking up greater responsibilities in our society as a result of their capacity. Remember, as a lady, there is a progressive manifestation of what you can do currently in the world. We went on so well that the Women's Commission led a delegation of students to the APSA Ghana Library Authority, which initiated a wholesome opportunity. And I'm proud to stand here that as I led the delegation, we have students who are being part of the advisory board of the Ghana Library Authority in the Futu municipality, and also who are also members of crew members of the Obasima Summit, which means that anytime there will be a summit within the confines of the organization of Obasima, these are students representing UW who also form part of this, giving them free internship skills and purposely taking them higher levels. We start from one stage to the other. Mr. Speaker, I cannot conclude, but I would love to say that everyone present here to take note that the Office of the Local News Women's Commissioner is headed by a young, passionate woman, driven by passion, with no politics, therefore, ever ready than ever to work in favor of my office. I hereby, Mr. Speaker, say thank you to you for giving me this opportunity, and to my SRC president, my local news president, the people in my commission, and everybody for bringing our suggestions forward, the challenges and everything. We praise God for that. Thank you so much. Naming me as a women's commissioner, Amina Abisba Nanobatampa. I'm glad.
Thank you, Honorable Amina Abisba Anan. We shall take 3 submissions on her reports. Any recommendations? Any words of encouragement? We are taking only 3. Yes, Honorable Purity.
Thank you very much once again. I'm Purity. Before I make my submission, Honorable House, from the beginning of the second session, I have realized that the Speaker is not giving his due respect, and I would like the House to do that. If he is just as same as Honorable Sumani Bagwe, when you go to Parliament, you don't disrespect him. So let's give him the respect that he's duly needs. So thank
Honorable,
you.
kindly make your point.
My local news commissioner, I want to commend you for the very good things you've been doing. I say kudos to you and work more. But about the program you said you partnered with the Ghana Library, actually, some of us never heard of it, and we would want you to intensify your publicity next time when a program like that is organized.
Point well noted. Honorable say.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to also commend my local district commission for the very nice and successful programs she has been giving to us so far, especially for the Obasima Summit. It was a very nice program. So just if we can also, she can also organize them a similar for them too as well. And
point well made, honorable member.
We have received a copy from, we just received a copy from the entertainment committee, a copy from the president and other staff. He should have given us a copy so that at least it will serve as a reference document and put into the archive of some of us so that in the near future people will also come and learn from us as well.
Honorable, say point well made. You may resume your seat. Thank you. There's a last submission, my brother. Honorable, the honorable member in white.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also like to congratulate Women's Commissioner, Mr. Selena Bonweta. From her submission, she said she is driven by passion with no politics. That part of saying with no politics, by my understanding of politics, it is any activity of governance. And our Women's Commissioner can tell us she doesn't engage herself in any governance activity. So that's
Honorable member, please make your submissions without trying to disrespect her view. I never said you are disrespecting her. I said her view.
I am not disrespecting the view. I am exposing the view. It's a different thing altogether, Mr. Speaker. I am of the view that
It is you having that opinion here is a personal thing. It's your personal opinion.
Mr. Speaker, I am sorry, but I think if the Women's Commission makes a different statement, corrects her statement, it will be better off than telling me it's a wrong thing to air my view. Mr. Speaker,
I have not asked you not to air your views, but
Mr. Speaker,
respect hers
Mr.
as
Speaker,
well.
you are telling me it's my opinion and it's an opinion of me. I think it is something that should be addressed right. We know we do the right things at the right time. We are all students who are learning to be politicians one day. And these are certain errors we should correct during our submissions.
Point well made, honorable member. Thank you. Please resume your seat. So, Honorable Amina Abisba Anand, you are discharged.
Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, can I clear the air, please?
Council, please make your submission. All right, Honorable Amina, kindly respond within a minute.
Honorable member from the observer seat, please.
He's a honorable member. He's only, I don't know why he decided to sit there. If I'm right.
He's an observer.
Is he an observer? Oh, okay. Thank you.
This is my statement. I would love to mention to everyone present here to take note that the office of the local spokesman is headed by a young, passion-driven lady with no politics, which means that everything.
Point well made, Honorable Amina. You are discharged. On these notes, the Deputy Speaker will take over.
So, having heard from the Local Mixed Women Commissioner, we will now take the report from the Projects and Programs Committee.
Mr. Speaker, Your Excellencies, His Lordship in absentia, honorable members, reports of the Project and Programs Committee delivered by Mr. Benjamin Jembo on Saturday, the 18th of June 2022, at the local assembly meeting of the SRC held at JAM Conference Center. Your best is far better than you can imagine. You can do far more than you think you can. Do not be a mediocre version of yourself. Go out and do what you once thought impossible and rise to a new level of achievement. Chris Leska. Mr. Speaker, the mantle of leadership was handed over to the committee officially on the 29th January 2022, comprising 6 members. The committee was handed over without any documents from our predecessors. The committee, after accepting to take up the challenge, made inquiries and realized the outgone SRCs left the following assets of the SRCs. Handed over assets verified by the audit board. Stamp 6, 4 in use, 2 damaged. Gun 6, all in use. Podium 2 in use. Stapler 1 damaged. Fridge 2 damaged. Wig 2 in use. Summer hats 12 in use. Stamps 4 all damaged. Table 2 in use. 1 in use, 1 damaged, sorry. SRC color 37,000 yards, all in use. SRC constitution 8,400, all in use. Cordless mic 3, office chair 3, 2 in use, 1 damaged. Staffing chairs 2 in use. Digital amplifier 3 in use. Megaphone 1 damaged. Mace 1 in use. Bass 1 under maintenance. Mr. Speaker, after the assessment of these assets, the committee realized that some of them were not in good shape, some damaged and others under maintenance. There was the need to replace the damaged ones and purchase needed accessories to aid the Secretariat for the smooth running of the administration. Below are the new purchase items to enhance the smooth running of the administration. Desktop computer 4, laptop 4, fridge 8, printer 2, stapler 5, office landline 2, pen drive 6, extension board 9, stamp and stamp pad 10, camera 1, stationeries A4 sheets, brown envelopes look, that is A3, official envelopes, pens, marker pens, correction pens, and stapler pens. Programs, projects, and activities embarked so far. Right Honorable Speaker, amidst all the challenges, I would like to bring to the notice of the House some activities embarked on. 1. Accession of assets register. 2. Purchase of office equipment for the Secretariat. 3. Fixing of lighting system in all SRC pavilions. Distribution of the SRC column to our level 200s. Supervision of the unprecedented SRC Precious Aquaba. Mr. Speaker, these activities will not have a success without the support of the Council. I would like to use this opportunity on behalf of the committee to show our profound appreciation and gratitude to the Council for their tremendous support. Challenges. Right Honorable Speaker, there cannot be a success without challenges. The committee in discharge of its duties faced some challenges. The urgent nature of students in their encounter with the committee, delays to embark on projects due to some bureaucracies the committee encountered. Committee members had to miss lectures on several occasions in the process of discharging their duties. Recommendations. Right Honorable Speaker, looking at the importance of the Projects and Programs Committee to every administration of the SRC and its tasks, we recommend that the number of members on this committee be increased so that the workload can reduce since the university is not situated at one place. Conclusion. I would conclude here by asking all to give their quota in the interest of the council. Draw the attention of the committee should they identify any problem which is not of the interest of the student body, and exercise patience for the committee has spent down lots of activities for next semester. Long live SRC, long live UEW, long live Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for the Projects Committee. We will give room for 3 submissions, questions. Honorable Member. Please, can you hand him the mic?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Projects Committee Chairman, for the good job you are doing. Please, a lot of diploma students in my department have not taken their SRC polo shirt or the top. Anytime they go for it, they have been asked to go back. So I want you to, they've asked me to ask you, when are they taking their SRC top? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Felix Amewani. Honorable Ben, thank you so much. You are doing a great job. But on the aspect of fixing all IT systems at the pavilions, is that one, is not really true. Because when you go to the SRC top, around the pavilion there has even the sockets. When you go there, you see that the hole is there. Even the wire can is there. Just last 2 weeks I've observed that. So I just want to go up your mic on that.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The last one, yeah, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Patrick Dozie of the Secretariat Reports. Under recommendation, I would like to plead with the project committee chairperson. He said we recommend that the number of members of the committee be increased. I would like to plead maybe it seems like some of the duties performed by the committee can equally be handed over to some general consul in case there is need. Because the distribution of the clocks, it seems like there was issue whereby general consul raised the issue at least for them not to miss lectures, and then for some other things, they should at least consider the general consul in helping them. But at long last, nothing like that was done. But if they are requesting that the number should be increased, I know definitely the coverage of the SRC will be hit. So some of the duties, let them at least assign them to the general consul. Thank you.
Thank you. Your point is well noted. So, Honorable Ben, you add to.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. To the first question, that is talking about positive students having problems with receiving their SRC club. I want it to be on record that 3 different departments provided list of post-diploma students. And out of these 3 departments, 2 of the departments have been sorted out. For your department, there was a misinformation whereby the list I was given was not the exact list of the post-diploma students. So other people came for the club instead of the right people. So I asked the one in charge to get back all the clubs that were given to those because their names were on list. After that, those who deserve to take the club will be given the club. So today, I haven't heard from the consul, but he has promised that definitely he will bring back those clubs and the right people will receive their club, God willing, next semester. Secondly, on the issue of lighting in the pavilions, I want it to be on record again that all SRC pavilions have been fully electrified with sockets. The ones around the SRC top, about 4 weeks ago, exactly a month ago, that was 2 days to the Dabuaji Festival. You know, the SRC pavilions around the NATOC office or the SRC top are connected to the building, so if there's no light around the building, there wouldn't be lights in the pavilion. Somebody from nowhere went to cut all the wires that we bought to connect the lights around the SRC top, thereby making the pavilions without lights. For the issue of the socket, you realize that even the places you are talking about that the holes are empty, we still have sockets around that same pavilion. It is not that those holes are supposed to be, according to what the experts who worked over there, they said those holes are not supposed to take sockets. So the sockets have been fixed at other places. So it is not that the lights have not been fixed over there. Now, on the issue of the recommendation, where I said members should add it to the committee to make the number a bit more than what we have now. All general conscripts, level 200, will attest to the fact that I never prevented any of them from being part of the distribution process. I told them categorically clear that for the purpose of accountability, I won't give the club to any general conscript to share. Reasons being that, as I speak to you, there are departments whose list they have given to me exceeds the number of students in level 200 in those departments. Political science is number 1. Economics department number 2. Basic education number 3. I don't want to continue. Now, the same department, there are people who don't have their names on the list. So, assuming you give me a list of 200 people, and I issue club of 200 to the general conscript, and after going to share, you come back to tell me that you have about 300 people whose names have not been captured. Meanwhile, I didn't prepare the list. How do I trust that? Do you expect me to give another batch of club to the conscript? That is the reason why I decided to take charge and ask the conscript for your help. Thank you very much.
Your point is well made. So, Honorable Benny, you are discharged. Thank you. So, at this juncture, the Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable, will take a seat. Thank you.
Information and Publicity Editorial Committee, please mount the podium to present your reports. Honorable Src, please, you are aware you are the next on the item, so you don't stay so far away from the podium. Sorry. Welfare Committee Chair, kindly mount the podium and present your report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry. Report on programs and activities of the Uew Src Welfare Committee during the 2021-2022 first semester's academic year. Your Excellencies present, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, the SRC Welfare Committee extends its profound greetings to the entire members of the local assembly. We are grateful to the Almighty God for his protection and guidance throughout the semester. The committee deems it a great privilege and honor to be given the mandate to report on its activities that began on 25th January 2022. The committee has successfully embarked on its constitutional functions of advocating the welfare of students by taking responsibility for the general welfare of the members of the local assembly during the early orientation meeting on 26th January 2022 and the first local assembly general meeting on 28th January 2022. The committee also provided adequate support to the students who were involved in the fatal accident which happened on the 13th of March 2022. This support was granted in force. On the day of the said incident, the SRC president, together with some members of the committee and other executives, was present at the spot after the incident had happened and gave victims the maximum support they needed in the provision of food and clothes as well as catering for some hospital bills. A delegation from the SRC, which included some members of the committee, went to Accra New Plant Station to check on those who suffered minor injuries and transported them back to campus. The rest of the committee members and some of the SRC executives on campus also waited patiently on the victims who, by the grace of God, were saved from being severely injured. Upon their arrival at the university's clinic, their health needs were attended to. After feeding them, the transport committee members offered a great assistance by dispatching these students to their various hostels. They were again fed at the food production units for some couple of days, and counseling sessions were organized for them to minimize any form of trauma that they encountered as a result of the accident. Moreover, because a lot of food items were annihilated as a result of the accident, food items such as rice, oil, Milo, milk, egg, sugar, etc. were donated to these affected students to make their stay on campus a pleasant one. Moving on, it was very unfortunate that we lost 6 of our colleagues as a result of this fatal incident, which included a member of the Welfare Committee. May their lovely souls rest in perfect peace. Some SRC executives, core executives, departmental executives, and the Welfare Committee members attended the funerals of all the deceased students from 17th March 2022 to 2nd April 2022. The committee, on behalf of the SRC, donated an appreciable amount to the families of the deceased and also gave them some words of encouragement. The various departmental executives, as well as core executives, contributed their quota, and finally, everything ended. The committee continued with its welfare assistance by donating some quantity of food items and money on behalf of SRC to Islamic students on 22nd April 2022 as a form of support to them during the fasting period. The last activity carried out by the welfare through the SRC was the disbursement of funds to students who wrote an appeal to the office of the SRC to solicit financial assistance. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, it is worthy to note also that the Media Committee under the Felix Donkole administration, the Special Need Committee that looks at the welfare of students with special needs, donated a wheelchair to one of the students and made some donations to help some others who were in need. kudos to them for the work done. Challenges. Due to the emergence of some unexpected situations such as strike issues and the fatal accidents at the beginning of the semester, a lot of activities that were planned to be performed by the committee could not be achieved. Moving forward, as time goes on and the second semester comes to meet us alive, the committee would like to embark on the following activities. In collaboration with the sanitation committee, organize a sanitation program by taking a day off within the semester to conduct thorough cleanup exercises on campus environments, especially at the various hall levels, and it will be in the form of competition. The neatest hall in the university would be awarded. On academic, the committee would like to organize seminars which will be spearheaded by professional personalities with a major purpose as to give education to students on how best they can manage stress, trauma, and other difficulties that interfere with their zeal towards academic progress on campus. Lastly, the committee would like to install CCTV cameras in the various halls to strengthen security assistance given to students at the hall. We entreat all stakeholders of students' welfare to get appertained to help realize our dreams of achieving the activities and plans mentioned above to enhance student fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson for the Welfare Committee. We shall take 3 submissions on her presentation. Just 3. Yes, Honorable Member.
Good work being done. They are doing very well. But I want to correct this. The front page of the paper given us. The meeting held the last early was on 29th, not 28th January. Then, at the back, second paragraph, last line, kudos to them for the work done. The done was spelled down, so it should be D-O-N-E, and the kudos is not K-U-D-U-S, it's K-U-D-O-S. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, the right honorable speaker, Bashir Kayi. Now, speaking from the Special Education Department, I would like to applaud the welfare chair and make this suggestion to your outfit. That in the middle of this semester, one of our colleagues, which is visually impaired, was run over by a car at the simple roundabout. He has been in the hospital for like 3 days on his leg. 3 to 1 week. I would like to suggest that your outfit come out with a tag that when they put it on, anybody see them know that this person is visually impaired. For the help of the mobility training they are going through, some can walk on the pavement without any assistance.
Point well made, Honorable Member. Honorable, say the last submission.
Honorable Speaker, in fact, I learned I used the wrong camera. It's another, but I want to add up to what our brother just said.
Please proceed.
Honorable Member, I think strengthening on the security purpose or the security issues of campus will be better than giving them a tag. I even learned that a lecturer even hates one of the visually impaired on campus. The way the drivers and other car users are behaving on campus is not fair. So let them be aware, or let's strengthen those things so that when immediately they get to campus, they will be aware that in fact we have students visually impaired with us, so that they can follow that procedure, and I think it will help to solve this issue. Thank you.
Point well made, Honorable Member. Honorable Welfare Chairperson, you are discharged.
You may resume your seat. The House, we shall invite the Transport Committee to bring their reports. Transport Committee. Is the Transport Committee here? All right. In the absence of the Transport Committee, Information, Publicity and Editorial Committee, kindly bring your reports. Honorable Sadakapia, kindly do your submission within 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. First report of the 2021-2022 academic year, first semester by the SRC Information, Publicity and Editorial Committee to be presented to the SRC Local Assembly on the 18th June 2022, addressed by Honorable Sadakapia, SRC periodic deposed and a conference. Mr. Speaker, all protocols duly observed. Mr. Speaker, information and communication are key to the development of any institution, community, or society. As a result, the SRC Information, Publicity and Editorial Committee has been very apt and doing in this regard. Mr. Speaker, in the early days of the just ended semester, the committee, which I head, organized an orientation and sensitization program for departmental and all associations on campus PRs, student bloggers, and student journalists. Mr. Speaker, this program was the first of its kind since the University of Education Winnipeg was built. A program that brought all PRs, bloggers, and student journalists under one umbrella, since these parties have a role in information dissemination on campus. Mr. Speaker, the purpose of this program was to equip our PRs on how to communicate devoid of emotions, curtail false information, as well, change the narrative. This has gone a long way to help information dissemination. Mr. Speaker, the committee has developed several strategies in dissemination of information to the students. Example is designing of a flyer that's an artwork of most of the activities the council or the university undertakes. And the orientation I talked about earlier has been overly helpful in such regard, since we have a common platform where information are posted for various PRs, bloggers, and student presenters to share. Mr. Speaker, let me extend my thanks to the course representatives and for that matter, the local assembly members for always aiding the sharing of communiques, flyers, and other releases from the SRC. Mr. Speaker, as part of the enviable branding of the SRC by the committee, steps have been advanced to get the SRC a website where all activities, programs, and communiques will be published. Mr. Speaker, this will, in the long run, help the SRC and other departments records of activities they undertake years after they have left office. So when we publish activities on the website, after you have left office as an early member or departmental president, you can log on to the site. You don't necessarily have to show your tag or your certificate. It might be in the house. So you go to
17,110 Ghana cedis
about your department.
Level 200.
Students have never lacked information. Mr. Speaker, this is highly commendable. That's the website. And the committee deserves a standing ovation. That's because students have never lacked whichever information needed because the publicity committee has been very apt to task. That's because for the very first time, in fact, ever since I was admitted to this institution, it is only under this administration, and for that matter, the publicity committee, that essence, that certain vital information from the local assembly meetings have been made known to the students on the flyer to address them with whatever went on in the local assembly meeting. The speaker, if not, the don't collect administration,
1,777,390 Ghana cedis.
We have some students, but students have now regained confidence in the SRC, and in short, earlier reign on the council has become a thing of the past because we get all the needed information. The Council's information and communication have been very active, and we thank the SRC President for his immense support, guidance, and advice. Mr. Speaker, the committee also took steps to create social media accounts, that's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This became necessary when we realized previous accounts were in the name of some individuals, which wouldn't be prudent should we adopt same. And these handles are now doing tremendously well. The committee registered a SIM card for creating of these handles and for correspondence, and it will be handed over to the next administration so they continue with the current media platform. So when we are leaving office, you hand over the SIM card to them. So now I don't use my personal line for correspondence, but rather the office of the PRO's line, and that was used in creating the social media platform. So it wouldn't be our property, but we hand over to the next administration. Mr. Speaker, the committee has a good relationship with the SRC Media Committee, and the collaboration has been very effective. The Media Committee has procured a digital camera, which is used for their operation, and pictures and video taken for documentation isn't a problem at all. So the camera we are seeing here,
you have less than 2 minutes.
the camera we are seeing here is for the council. Mr. Speaker, this will not end there. The coming semester will see a war of post-publicity, the likes of which we have, in fact, never seen before. The office of the PRO is looking forward to implement the SRC newspaper, a soft copy online newspaper, which will be released weekly, and information about the council, department, and the school at large would be captured. This, together with the website, will serve as a source of information and referencing points for students. Mr. Speaker, resources have been our major challenge as a committee. But with a little at our disposal, we have seen how information flows in and out of the council, and the numbers who attended the famous this night of the People's Akwaba is evident enough. You all saw the numbers at the Jefferson and Wakapa, how they came. We look forward to the council to resource the committee very well, and the effect will be massive and something to write home about. Mr. Speaker, some TV stations like United Television, popularly known as UTV, Pan-African TV, Joy News, some radios like Radio Windy Bay, 9FM, NIT FM, among others, and online portals such as Ghana Web, modernghana.com, mynewsghana.com, they have been employed by the committee to publish most of the council's activities, and it has indeed projected the UW abroad positively. So nowadays you can see that when the council does something, Ghana Web publishes. Most of the time when you Google UW SRC, you don't get publications about the council. But now we are looking forward to pushing the council abroad, so that when you are home, you see us in key on the ABF on time. Mr. Speaker, we know a lot has been done, but there is still more room for improvement. We would not on any day relent on our efforts in marketing the SRC and the university at large. With little resources, more would be done to help. Let me end with a popular quote: change the face of UEW SRC by showing working. The Speaker, His Excellency Felix Donko, popularly known as Abrantier, is delivering. Long live UEW, long live the SRC, long live the local assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Information, Publicity and Editorial Committee Chairperson. We shall take 3 submissions. Yes, one of them.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving the opportunity this time. I've suffered enough.
Yeah. I'll make your point.
Okay, thank you once again. I want to recommend our honorable PRO for his good work done.
You commend, you don't recommend.
I want to commend him for his good work done. He's doing so well, and I want to urge him to continue doing the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. So Annabelle, I want to believe this is in support of your boss's good work.
Although the page is one numbered, the second page,
okay.
The first one, front, the back page, the last paragraph, the third line says all the way you mentioned the number of TV stations and the radio stations say they have been employed by the committee. I'm not sure the committee is in a position to employ them
Thank you, Honorable. Point well made. Yes, Honorable Member, I think let me make this correction here on the UW newspaper. That's on the second page, paragraph 5. The likes of which we have never seen before. The office of the PRO is looking forward to implement. It is implementing. If I am a political science student, but I like to read, so it is implementing, it's not implementing. Kindly make that necessary correction for documentation purposes. Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Departmental President for History. I do forget your name, my brother.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Shabak, thank you. I will commend you for that. I would like to also state this, that we appreciate all the effort by the Publicity Committee to bring us accurate information with respect to student bodies and activities. In as much as it is, I would like to put this point or advise that certain things are there, it shouldn't in a way, especially when it comes to their communications, boil students' emotions to go a long way of doing things which will bring a disrepute to the council as well as the school in entirety, especially the content of their messages sometimes. Now, I would like to inquire from my public relation officer with respect to their communiques, because I last spoke with you, I remember, and then we as local assembly members, I don't know whether we always misinterpret it to be an official one from the SRC or it is actually an official communique which always comes from the SRC, just that it hasn't been put in the official way, so that we know some of these things, so that issues that comes out, we know they are opinionated or not, and know who to criticize and know who not to criticize on some of these things. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. Last submission. Yes, Honorable. Point of information. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The name is Alexander Benedata from Special Education of 200 General. My able PRO, since we are moving to digital media, like we are moving the publicity to digital, we need to consider our able brothers and sisters who are in my department. Some are visually impaired and some also hearing impaired. When you are putting a video on the page, the social media handles, you need to add subtitles so that those who are hearing impaired can read as objective, and those that are visually impaired, that one I can't tell. So you need to do something about it. Since next semester we are moving to digital, we need to do something about it. Thank you.
I think we have exhausted our tray, right? So we will move to the next item. Honorable PRO, before we move to the next item, I think there was one that demanded that you responded to the question. There was a gentleman who made a submission that demanded a kind of answer. Yes, on what the departmental president for history was asking. So kindly clarify things.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think earlier, reports, they took 3 comments. I don't know why mine became 4. I don't know, it was an oversight, so let's overlook that. Mr. Speaker, whether employed or implementing, the criticisms have been accepted in good faith, and the changes would be effected in the reports. Thank you. And with regards to the question here, Mr. Speaker, the works of the PRO is in different folds. communication is very dynamic, and we have to change the face of our communication. Most of the times we have other PROs, but it will look as though we don't have PROs. So going straight to the question, the writings I do on the letterhead, those are the official ones that the president will, glance through. Then it comes to the public space. But the ones I write on the, social media platforms, as in like just writing WhatsApp circulars and co, is also another tool to supplement the official releases. There are certain things you can't put.
Honorable PRO, if I got Honorable Joseph Akulugu right, we are seeking to know if we see those communications, do we regard them as official communiques, or in case of an argument, we can disregard them? That is what we want to know.
Mr. Speaker, thanks very much. But I think that if it must be done, then it must be done well. We can't give an outright answer when there are explanations to that effect. Of course, you have to regard them. But I'm saying that those are supplements to official releases. I can't write, yes, I've been appointed by the president. I defend the council on any day. That I will never turn my back at the council or even the universities. So there are some writings, I can't put it on the letterhead. Something like Abrante is delivering. I can't put it on the letterhead. So I
want to write any of those ones. Being a communication person, you should know that they are not official and they cannot supplement. They are your own opinions.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not saying that they are official or not. I'm saying that the council
then don't use them as a supplement. If it is a supplementary, it is official. If it is not, it is not official.
Mr. Speaker, in another way, as a communicator or as a PRO, my works are in two folds. One, to project the council, and two, to project the council, the president. One, I have liberty to write things with my opinion. Something like SRC PRO writes. It is coming from me. What I am writing. I'm in the person of Shadrach Appiah. And
Shadrach, I think that is a wrong information.
Mr. Speaker, let me throw more light on. At least when
the House, kindly let us learn something. Kindly hold your tail.
Let me end. So at least
Honorable PRO, kindly hold your tail. If I sit in my room and there's any issue, I can defend that this is what I wrote. But if I write anything anywhere and I put Uew Speaker rights, if there are any legal issues, I cannot say I wrote officially because it's not on my letterhead.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not saying
please, Honorable PRO,
Mr. Speaker,
you are out of order and you may resume your seat.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not in any way saying they
Honorable Shadrach, please.
That does not mean it should be disregarded.
Thank you, Honorable PRO.
I want to state on record. This is
my submission is that when you write that way, they are not official. They are your own opinions. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not in any way.
Honorable Tofik, please, you may rise and make your point. PRO, you may resume your seat.
You are communicating on behalf of association. Even if you have your personal account, let people to manage it for you. Because any information coming from you is regarded as authentic, whether false or true. People think it's authentic. So as a PR, you are disregarded to write anything. You are speaking on behalf of association. You are telling me that Abrante delivery is your own destiny. And then you will write, no, we don't do that. As a PR, we stick to one. That's all.
Thank you, Honorable Tofik. I think we are digressing so much on this particular issue. The number of submissions we have to take, we have exhausted them, so we are moving straight to our next items. I thought by now would have been out of here, but for the wonderful job being done by you, we are still here. It's good. It's good. I want to believe there are some of you here who just don't like me, and for which reason you want me to stay here the whole day, because I didn't have any sleep yesterday. So I won't let you spend my evening again. Thank you very much, honorable members. On this note, we'll zoom straight to the financial reports. Yes, or the financial statements. And quickly, we would invite the local sports and games secretariat run by Honorable Daniel Bonsu, popularly known as Boss Africa. And he has actually conquered Africa. So please tell us how you conquered Africa.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I think I'm going to do two things at a go. I'll first of all give you my report, then I'll add the financial statement. Thank you very much.
At least if you do Boss Africa a favor by letting us have the trophies in front here, I think it wouldn't be very bad. He deserves it. So please add the trophies here, or we should wait for them later.
You let me finish.
Thank you, Honorable. Please proceed.
SRC Sports and Games Secretariat Reports delivered by Daniel Bonsu to the second local assembly meeting for 2021-2022 SRC administration held on 18 June 2022 at Dufus Anamua Conference Center. Mr. Speaker, colleague executive members, honorable members, accredited observers, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. The Sports and Games Secretariat would like to express their profound gratitude to the Almighty God for their special protection throughout the semester and to the entire student populace for believing in us to serve this noble institution, University of Education, Winneba. We also acknowledge the unflinching support we received from management of the university, the Sports Directorate, IPED Department, colleague executive members, local assembly members, and to the various sports reps at the hall level. Mr. Speaker, ever since we took an oath to serve our colleague students in terms of sports with integrity and truthfulness, we are apparently attesting to the fact that our work is successfully progressing each and every day. In collaboration with the Sports Directorate, Intramural Sporting Activities Program was drafted. This was aimed at ensuring adequate preparation before and during sports events and also to help avert the doubts about days and venues of sporting activities. Mr. Speaker, programs outlined for the semester included mini Gusa camping during our last second semester vacation from 19th to 29th of November 2021. Freshers Aquaba Games, which included handball, volleyball, basketball, and football, which also happened on the 2nd of February 2022. Gusa Executive Meeting at JIG, which started on 23rd of February throughout to 27th of February 2022, where I, Mr. Daniel Bonsu, was duly appointed as the president for Gusa Students Leadership. Annual Inter-Hall Games, which included soccer, handball, volleyball, hockey, badminton, basketball, and go-ball for persons with visual impairment. The annual Inter-Hall Athletics was the last intramural game organized and was one of the well-planned and organized athletics competition in the history of the university. Mr. Chairman, after this, the university embarked on an extramural competition, which was the 10th edition of the All-African University Games at Kenyatta University, Kenya. This activity is described as the last straw that broke the camel's back for the semester. This FASU Games started on the 6th of June and ended on the 11th of June with over 40 universities across the African continent competing. Mr. Speaker, it wasn't a fight for amateurs, but we fought with the last two lines of the university anthem, and we became the overall best second runners-up in Africa. Can I hear you? and overall first in Ghana with 8 gold medals, 10 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals, as well as a trophy for the university. Honorable Hafiz, can you please present those beautiful trophies to the clerk for me? Kindly remove them from the back so that they will see the beauty of it. Okay, my brother.
Honorable, please kindly let the leader of the delegation present the trophy to the House. You are enjoying it as if you were
Okay.
with them to Kenya.
Honorable Speaker, I only asked you to present them to the clerks for me, and he's using it to take pictures. Please, kindly do that for me. We can present them to the clerk.
It's like my clerk doesn't want me to feel the thing so. Oh, let me take a photo song.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, don't forget you are eating into my 5 minutes. Can you please put the trophy down and let me finish?
It is at my discretion to extend your time or not to extend it. So
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Speaker, the road has never been smooth for us in terms of funds and other sports resources to facilitate our main duty, which is to develop, promote, and to organize sports in the university. But we are still praying and hoping for the best. I would like to elucidate a bit on the achievements of our Secretariat, and I will be very glad if you can respond with with each of the achievements that I will spell out. 1. First time we had a successful inter-hall games devoid of accommodation problems. 2. First time we had higher number of students coming out to observe the annual inter-hall athletics. 3. First time we had a live coverage on our campus radio during our organized games. 4. We had a successful and fruitful Freshers Aquaba Games. 5. For the first time in 12 solid good years, a student of UEW is duly appointed as the president for Ghana University Sports Association Students Leadership. 6. For the first time in 6 good years, we competed in all African University Games. 7. Incentives were given to athletes who made it to the FASU Games. 8. First time a university from Ghana became overall best second runner-up with 8 gold medals, 10 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals. 9. Johnson Aqua winning 4 gold medals for UEW and becoming the most medalist athlete. Should I add more? 10. Each and every one out of the 19 athletes presented won a medal in the just ended All African University Games. And the last one, Gifty Oku Kwachua, a student of University of Education Winneba, being invited for Commonwealth Youth Games at Birmingham in United Kingdom. When we came, we met our Vice Chancellor and he told us one thing. He said, we should be proud of ourselves. We should not keep these trophies in the office, we should celebrate with it. So I thought it wise. Why therefore not bring these trophies here so that our noble house will just stand and take a group picture of it. He said we should celebrate this pride in our rooms, in our communities, in our all social media platforms. Because there is a university in Ghana that is still crying that they should have gotten this. Areas for development. Our sporting facilities, especially the lighting system of...
I think in as much as I'm enjoying your presentation, you are trespassing so much beyond your time. So kindly wrap up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Our sporting facilities, especially the lighting system of our multipurpose course, that is one of the areas that we have to develop. Lectures which go on during intramural sporting activities, failure of all representatives to get athletes to partake in all disciplines in freshers Aquaba Games, late payment of contingents, allowances by horse, recommendations, funds for sporting activities should be released on time. 2, all representatives should do well to get players to partake in all disciplines during games. 3, enforcement of sports and games time on the timetable. Mr. Speaker, I render a profound gratefulness to my hard-working committee members, especially my treasurer, Ms. Indifrek Elandi Atipu, who has currently deferred her course. For without their advice, prayers, and unflinching support, this achievement could not have been met. I really appreciate the didactic and altruistic traits embedded in them. Conclusion, Mr. Speaker, do not argue for people's weakness. Do not argue for your own. When you make mistake, admit it, correct it, and learn from it immediately. Dr. Stephen Covey. In light of this, we ask for pardon from those who might have offended knowingly and unknowingly, but with assurance that we have learned from these mistakes. May the Almighty God help and unite us all to steer the affairs of our colleague students very well. Long live Ghana, long live UW, long live SRC, long live sports. Thank you very much.
I think they deserve a standing ovation. Let's give them one. Sports teams for one student, they deserve a standing ovation. Honorable members, let's give them one. You may resume your seats. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable Daniel Bonsu, you may proceed to present your financial report. I had to let him put the 2 in 1 because of the nature of the presentations he has to do at the Secretariat. So he will proceed to do the financial report and the Secretariat.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I will just be brief on my financial statement. All the activities that we undertook, including Gusa mini campaign, committee meetings, freshers Aquaba Games, Gusa meeting, annual interhall games, annual interhall activities, GA competition at Kumasi, GA competition at Koforidia, ECOWAS games at Cape Coast, All African Games at Kenya. And we spent just 21,310 Ghana cedis only. $1,160 cedis was allocated to our mini Gusa campaign. 2,000 Ghana cedis was allocated to our Gusa executive meeting. 11,590 Ghana cedis only was allocated to our freshers Aquaba Games. 4,500 Ghana cedis only was allocated to all African University Games. This trophy alone cost about 20 billion.
Lastly, this house is a house of records, and we will not put this in our records. So please kindly.
Sorry for that, Mr. Speaker. Lastly, we spent 2,060 Ghana cedis on our annual interhall athletics. Thank you very much. I think, supposing I'm a woman, I would be a good wife to use just 21,000 Ghana cedis to undertake all these activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Daniel Bonsu, Boss Africa, the conqueror of Africa. Please, if there are any submissions to be made on this particular presentation, we are taking only 3. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much. Please, I would like to appeal to you that in as much as our achievements, I believe strongly that we have a lot of sportsmen and women in the various departments. So going forward, we should decentralize the freshers' games, and if it can be in inter-departments, so that you can scout more talent. Thank you very much.
Point well, Member. Yes, Honorable Financial Secretary from Ejima.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Most Africa, I will commend you for the good work done for the university. I was sitting here very happy that UEW has made it, and it saddened my heart at a point that the names that were mentioned, I didn't hear any of my people. So from Ejima and me. So I would like to tell you or suggest to you that there are equally good athletes on my land. So therefore, next time when we are going for Busa or whatever games that we do as university, please come to my land and you find better wine there. Thank you.
Point well made, Honorable Financial Secretary. The last submission, Tima. Am I right, Honorable Member?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm in the person of Sule Hamet Tima from the Department of Art Education. But first of all, I would love to commend Mr. Daniel Bonsu for doing such a great work. Even though we've not been here for so many years, but for the little period we have been here, we've seen a massive revolution. And I would love to ask you, what is your secret, Mr. Bonsu? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I think this particular secret demands a secret answer. So kindly meet Daniel Bonsu after here. Or you would like to share your recipe outside here?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I just want to give you like this. I think in this world, always put God first. When we were about to go for the All African Games, I encountered a very tragic accident. Let me say incident in my house. It wasn't easy at all. Initially, I didn't want to go for the games, but I sat down and I realized I took an oath in front of my students. Therefore, I made it clear that whether rain or shine, I'm ready to serve. So I had no other option than to call my contingents, sent them few pictures of the incident that happened to me, and I told them the only thing that can put a smile on my face at this moment is for them to get me medals. And they promised. When they got there, they fulfilled the promise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have exhausted our submissions. We have had 3. So, honorable members, we are running out of time. On this note, Honorable Daniel Bonsu, you are duly discharged. Next on our item list, that's item 5.42. We shall take a financial report from the local news secretariat.
We will skip that item because the Honorable Looks President disrespected me and stepped down when I asked him to continue with his address. Until the right thing is done, he will not mount any podium in this house. So further notice, and it's iterative. So Finance Committee, kindly mount the podium and present your reports to the House. Due to the bulky nature of the financial reports, the Finance Committee will be given 10 minutes to make their submission. And if the 10 minutes are up, his submissions are not done, we'll file for an extension of time, and this time around we'll give him 5 minutes. Honorable Financial Boniface, please proceed to present your report to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, before I proceed, I bring you greetings from the Finance Committee.
Honorable Boniface, I think your posturing isn't right with me, so kindly proceed yourself.
I present to you the first semester financial statement on the authority of the SRC President, Felix Donko, by the Financial Secretary, Upoguad by Boniface. In accordance with the requirement of Chapter 4 of Article 12, Clause 3C of the 2018 revised SRC Constitution, the Finance Committee have the pleasure of presenting the report of the UEW SRC for the 2021-2022 first semester ended 15th June 2022. The committee is responsible for ensuring that the SRC keep accounting records will disclose with reasonable accuracy of financial positions of the Council, and which enables the Council to ensure that the financial statements comply with the International Financial Reporting Standard for small and medium-sized entities. Steps have been taken to safeguard the assets of the Council and to prevent and detect fraud and other forms of misappropriation of the Council's fund. The Council's Finance Committee has been an assessment of its ability to continue as a going concern, and is satisfied that it has resources to continue in business for the foreseeable future. Furthermore, the Council is not aware of any uncertainties that may cause significant doubt upon the Council's ability to continue as a going concern. Therefore, the financial statements continue to be prepared on the going concern basis in accordance to the International Public Sector Accounting Standard. Please note, this financial statement has gone through the auditing process as required by the SRC Constitution. Statement of comprehensive income and expenditure account for the first semester ended 15 June 2022. Income. Balance brought forward 22,706.91 Ghana cedis. Operational income. Total transfers 900,000. Grand total.
Honorable members, the movement
922,706.91 Ghana cedis. Expenditure. General expenses 113,387 Ghana cedis. Salaries 3,400.15 Ghana cedis. Allowances 82,562 Ghana cedis. AFE 28,276.60 Ghana cedis. Project 8,045 Ghana cedis. Sports and games 21,310 Ghana cedis. Welfare 111,903. Entertainment 50,280. Please, I will omit local news because the speaker did not allow them to present. USAC expenses, 3,287 Ghana cedis. Bank charges, 1,059.35 Ghana cedis. Committees, commissions and boards, 16,643 Ghana cedis. Grand total expenditure, 523,285.90 Ghana cedis. Surplus, 399,421.01 Ghana cedis. Income breakdown. Balance portfolio, 22,706.91 Ghana cedis. Operational income, first transfer, 5,000 Ghana cedis, 500,000 Ghana cedis, sorry. Second transfer, 400,000 Ghana cedis. Summing up to 900,000 Ghana cedis. Grand total, 922,706.91 Ghana cedis. Expenditure breakdown. General expenses, administrative and office expenses, 60,066 Ghana cedis. Printing, 2,050 Ghana cedis. Early funds, 500 Ghana cedis. ID card holders for early members and appointees, 6,300 Ghana cedis. Repairs and maintenance. Printer, 130 Ghana cedis. SRC owned office staff, 200 Ghana cedis. Expenses on cloth, carton, packaging, and sharing, 13,680 Ghana cedis. Goods and services. Freight.
Honorable please, the Deputy Speaker to continue from here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Goods and services. Fridges, 7,200 Ghana cedis. Office landline, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Computers, 21,850 Ghana cedis. Pen drive, 480 Ghana cedis. Camera, 8,860 Ghana cedis. Printers and accessories, 9,405 Ghana cedis. Airtime bundles for offices, committees, and boards, 3,400 Ghana cedis. Transportation for officers on duties, 6,361 Ghana cedis. Capacity building, 8,229 Ghana cedis, summing up to 105,711 Ghana cedis. Presidential travels. Total presidential travels, 7,676 Ghana cedis. Total general expenses, 113,387 Ghana cedis. Salaries, administrator. Total salaries, 3,400.15 Ghana cedis. Allowances, monthly allowance, 30,720 Ghana cedis. Executive committee meeting, 2,740 Ghana cedis. Other committees and boards meeting, 4,557 Ghana cedis. Staying allowance, 15,230 Ghana cedis. Other allowances for special assignment, 1,500 Ghana cedis. Total allowances, 82,562 Ghana cedis. AFEF refund, total expenditure, 22,276.60 Ghana cedis. Project, repairs of lighting system, 7,550 Ghana cedis. Reading and spraying on footbridges, 495 Ghana cedis. Total expenditure for project, 8,045 Ghana cedis. Sports and games, total expenditure, 21,310. Welfare, early refreshment for the two earlies, 13,080 Ghana cedis. Hospitalities, 2,795 Ghana cedis. Muslim Ramadan support, 7,715 Ghana cedis. Expenditures on exploit accidents, 13,273 Ghana cedis. Replacement of lost laptops during 2021 elections, 7,700 Ghana cedis. Student support, 74,340 Ghana cedis. Total welfare, 118,903 Ghana cedis. Entertainment, SRC Akwaba, artist nights, which comprises of artists, stage lighting, MCs, and auditions. 40,000. Camera. Wow. Sorry, it's 500 Ghana cedis. Accommodation for artists, crew, and event organizers, 3,000 Ghana cedis. Jama night, 2,300 Ghana cedis. Publicity, 2,500 Ghana cedis. Security, 980 Ghana cedis. Transportation and sanitation, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Local news expenses. I will read that, please. USAC Senate meeting, 2,120 Ghana cedis. USAC vetting, 1,167 Ghana cedis. Total, 3,287 Ghana cedis. Bank charges, 1,059.35 Ghana cedis. Other committees, commissions and boards. Publicity committee, 8,070 Ghana cedis. Academic board, 2,400 Ghana cedis. Transport committee, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Religious board, 2,240 Ghana cedis. Audit board, 823 Ghana cedis. Amalgamated clubs and society, 1,810 Ghana cedis. Media committee, 300 Ghana cedis. Total expenditure, $1,022,785.90 Ghana cedis. Thank you. Statement of financial position as at 15 June 2022. Bank, 399,421.01 Ghana cedis. Total assets, which is total amount, 399,421.01. Financed by, which is the surplus, we have the same amount, which is 399,421.01 Ghana cedis. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please. I, Opoku Ajima, body please, move for the deliberation of the financial statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Boniface. So at this point, my right honorable speaker will continue.
The speech or the financial statement presented by the financial Boniface is open for discussion. I think we will make the discussion on this a little extensive, but we will not travel beyond 5 submissions because we are far behind time. So I would have loved to call you, but where you are sitting looks like you're not part of us. So the honorable behind, yes, the one in white, kindly make your submissions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to...
Please, before anyone makes any submission, let's make sure that we are working within 30 seconds to 1 minute when we are making our submissions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am a Physics Department, level 200. From what our financial secretary said, he did not mention the amount that was given to the local Uew Secretariat. And the point that the speaker did not allow that account or that financial statement to be read. I would suggest that even if that statement was not allowed to be read, was not read, you allocated that amount to that secretariat. So you have to let us know the amount that was given, and then you account.
Point well made, honorable member. You may resume. Thank you. Yes, the lady by the gentleman in the SRC club. Honorable member. Yes, please make your point. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Chair of the House. I'll first of all congratulate the mining person, Mr. Boniface, for such a good work done. But there is one that really touched my heart. I don't know whether it's ridiculous or it's actually serious, but the support for Ramadan, it was 7,715 Ghana cedi, which is a lot of money. You on campus here, we have various denominations. So if you can't do it for the others, then you don't do it for a particular one, because next semester we know individuals do it at hand. So that one is going to be also 10,000 something. So please, you should reduce those kind of things.
Point well noted, honorable member. Yes, honorable. I think I'm being very biased with my ladies this evening. So, honorable, please make your point.
Thank you very much, the Chair of the House. I'm Benison, General Rep for Spain. And please, I wish to draw your attention to the amount allocated to the camera and the entertainment. You made a verbal correction here, but the printed document I have has a different figure, which definitely would translate into that expenditure. So I please want to ask, or no, I wish to know, do we take this as part of the records of the House, per the corrections made, which has not been translated here? Thank you.
So kindly authorize the right corrections to be made before we proceed. Honorable Boniface.
Correction done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So on that note, what figure are you quoting? Quote the figure to the House. Let them use their pens to do the right corrections.
500 Ghana cedis.
And then the honorable said right. We are expanding the conversation on this particular issue because I know most of you are interested. So don't worry, I am at discretion to use any number.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for the opportunity.
Please, you are dealing with 30 seconds to 1 minute.
Speaker, my vital information is that the local MOOC's president did not in any way show gross disrespect openly to us. And I can't tell the purpose with which he left the House. And even in his absence, I think the other local MOOC's members are also here and they can read the report for the Secretariat, except that we are all privy to any disrespectful posture which resulted to him leaving the House. In as much as he is not in the House, please kindly permit. We have the local women commission here, we have the treasurer and other.
Point well made. Honorable Src, please resume your seat. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Benedict.
The Speaker of the House, my name is Ayatollah Benedict, General Counsel for Political Science, Level 2. The Speaker, it saddens my heart to see expenditure breakdown for airtime bundle for officers, whilst I know very well that we have Wi-Fi on campus here, and allocating about 3,400 for airtime for officers. I want to get a clarification on that. Whilst we have Wi-Fi here, so I don't know whether all committee heads have been given airtime to text or call people. I don't know, so I want clarification on that.
Honorable Ahiati, I think I'll react to that before. It's not all the places that have the Wi-Fi. If you know the campus very well, and the council has official telephone lines for which they buy time. I'm not defending that particular expenditure, but I'm trying to let you get yourself right before they will respond to that issue. Thank you. The lady behind topic, Adenli. Please, Honorable Financial Secretary, take note of those that are questions and those that are suggestions so that if there are any responses that should be given, you respond to them appropriately after she has given her submission.
Thank you very much. Please, I want a bit of clarity on this. The executives or the persons who are giving this airtime in bundle, can we know if they are given on monthly basis, weekly basis, and how much? Thank you.
Point well made. Honorable Financial Secretary, kindly respond and we'll take the next set of submissions. So please kindly put your hands down. After he has responded, we'll take your next set of submissions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The first question, though it was a clarification of airtime and bundles. As you said, there are office lines that we need to buy airtime for various offices, which is SRC offices. And there are some offices that goes on special duties, which they don't have Wi-Fi at their various rosters. So we give them a token to buy airtime and bundles. Also, the second one, of how much we give it to them. It depends on when the airtime or the bundle gets exhausted. Thank you.
Thank you. So we shall take the next set of submissions. We are traveling so much behind time, and we'll take just 3 more. Just 3, and we'll move to the next item. The Honorable behind Purity, kindly make your submission.
Board shall audit the accounts of committees, commissions, boards, institutions established under this constitution by a resolution of the LA at the end of every semester. The same constitution has also provided that the local youth secretariat at the end of every semester will have to present a financial statement to this guest house. In the presentation of the financial secretary, he made mention that there's been the exhaustion of the auditing process. But my question is that the auditing process begins from collecting data from the various commissions and committees and posting the reports on the notice boards, because the constitution has provided that the information and publicity committee have to post these audited reports on the various notice boards. But that has not been done. Yet he's claiming the process has been done. And I don't think that is very right. You see, if
Honorable Member, point well made. You may resume your seats. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Africa. I'm Sergeant Peter Mensa, HRO President. In the portion for the local assembly, I saw a figure 27,815. And I want to know from the finance honorable Boniface how it was calculated per of the LME this year.
Please, page number.
I want you to confirm how it was
Page
calculated.
number.
Because I divided by the 450, 450 out for the car, and I had more than 50 CDs per head received. So I want you to tell me how it was calculated to sum to the 27,000. Thank you.
Honorable, kindly please make your point clearer. Honorable Boniface doesn't seem to understand your submission, so kindly come clearer.
Yes, that's page 2, under the allowance.
Okay.
Yeah, the item for local assembly. That is 27,815 Ghana cedis. And so I wanted him to explain to me how it was distributed among the members of the LA, because I did my calculation by multiplying it and dividing it by the 450 per the ID card holders here. And I had 56 cities, 51 cities, 61 cities plus. Meanwhile, we will take 50 cities. Thank you very much.
Honorable member, the House has a procedure. It is not all honorable members don't take the same. So please, that if you are getting a different figure, you are calculating the figures wrongly. Last submission.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Well, I don't have much to say, but I took a critical look at the presentation of this, and I feel Honorable Boniface has really done a good job. Looking at if we should compare the standards of IBSE, you can clearly tell that the arrangement of components here is perfect. Okay, so I think the House should recognize this. The Honorable Boniface has really done a good job. And with respect to MTech, you as a BBA student have really done well. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Salifu. And in response to the gentleman's question on the audit, I have a report, I have a letter on my desk that the auditor report is ready. Just that the auditor is not in town at the moment. So it will be published in due time. So it is not as if it is not ready. It is ready. But the auditor has traveled out on an emergency. On this note, Honorable Boniface, kindly move a motion for the acceptance of the financial statement as a working document of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, Uew Src, Boniface, move for the acceptance of the financial statement. Thank you.
Seconder. Yes. The gentleman is seated. Honorable member, is seconder.
There is a correction not effected, so we can't accept it, Mr. Speaker. When he corrected the amount for 500, that's camera, it affects the total, everything. So we should do that for us before we accept. Thank you.
Thanks for the attention, brother. Honorable Boniface, kindly do the correction and move a motion for the acceptance of the financial statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Amount corrected,
Please, if we want to stay here,
total amount
he's correcting the work, so kindly let's pay attention.
Total amount for entertainment is 50,280 Ghana cedis. Thank you.
So, in that effect, what does the total become? Meaning there will be a change in the grand total. Is it clear? Honorable from mathematics, level 200. What is your argument?
The total expenditure, that the grand total for general expenses is 113,287 Ghana cedis. Now when it comes to the breakdown, on the second sheet, the total there is 105,711 cedis. It is conflicted. The first sheet, with the grand total expenditure there, it is 523,285 cedis, 90 pesos. When you come to the third sheet, that is the total expenses. It is 1,022,785 cedis, 90 pesos. There are lots of corrections that need to be made.
Honorable Bless, point of information.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I believe that the software the Financial Secretary used was an Excel, and then the Excel has formulas it uses. So since the Financial Secretary is saying that the camera under entertainment is supposed to be 500 cedis instead of 500,000 Ghana cedis, it means that the formula picked it as 500,000 Ghana cedis. That is how come the total expenditure under the breakdown is more than the actual in the income statement. So the focus should be the income statement. I believe that when we rectify that, it will resolve everything, including the total of the breakdown. Thank you.
So, Honorable Boniface, please, we shall proceed to the next item. You have 5 minutes to go and reconcile your figures and come back, present to the House the appropriate figures for the consumption of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, please, you have 5 minutes to go and reconcile your figures.
That be corrected, please.
Kindly present them to the House.
Thank you. So the total entertainment is 50,280 Ghana cedis, and the total expenses is 523,285.90 Ghana cedis. Thank you.
Is the correction effected? Thank you, Honorable House. So on this note, Honorable Boniface move for the acceptance of the statement as a working document of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, Boniface Opoku Adjuvan, Boniface. Thank you. Yes. Move for the acceptance of the financial statement.
Any seconder. Any seconder. Honorable Salifu. On this note, the financial statement for the first semester 2021-2022 academic year has been duly adopted as a true working document of the House. We skipped an item, but in order not to deny our students the right to have access to the reports from the Uew Secretariat, we would invite the Uew Secretariat to bring their reports. While they on the stage, they render an unqualified apology to the House for the respectful error.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the local news secretariat, we really apologize for the incident that happened.
Honorable Hafiz, I would want to see your president mount the podium to present the report, and he has to do the needful. He is a member of the local assembly, and as such, he has to do the needful. So if he's not around, you can resume your seats.
Mr. Speaker, we do apologize on behalf of the local news secretariat, please.
Honorable Hafiz, it is a directive. If the Luke's president is here, he mounts the podium. To the needful, if it is not here, you may resume your seat. He is a member of the local assembly and a member of the executive committee and a member of the finance committee, so he knows the right thing to be done. Don't let us argue on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The House, we are far behind time. So we'll move to any other business. Yes, point of order, yes.
I am Bashir by the Special Education Department. Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I am not a parliamentarian, or I'm not within political science, but I would like to take interest to look at some few standings that is in the state constitution. Let us turn our books to page 27, Article 10. The composition of the local news. We have the president, the secretary, and the women commissioner and the treasurer as well. Now, looking at the functions, I would like us to turn to page 28. Looking at the functions of the local news executive committee. Functions. D. Function D. Be responsible for the dissemination of vital information concerning students from the National Secretariat of News. My emphasis on vital. Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I think denying the local news secretariat from giving us information, denying us for vital information. Let us move to page 61.
Honorable member, I am not.
amount that we requested for and was given is 324 Ghana cedis. Total, we have 564 Ghana cedis. I continue with the first Looks Central Committee meeting, which took place at Tamale in the Northern region. It was a residential committee meeting, which took 2 days. We had 12 delegates attending, and the accommodation per day was 80 cedis. So when you factor that, you are going to get 1,920. Feeding, that again too was 3 days. And the number of delegates were 12. Then we have a total of 214 Ghana cedis. Honorable members, you have this breakdown because on the first day of arrival, the amount that was paid to the national looks to feed the people, they didn't provide food for them on that day. So therefore, the Secretariat needed to find other ways of feeding them. That is why you have that. We have the media coverage. As at the time we went for the CC meeting, the council was not able to secure a camera as at then. So we hired a camera to go for the program. And the amount was 214 Ghana cedis. We have the fuel. The amount allocated that we used for fuel was 1,538 Ghana cedis. We have the driver's allowance. The driver's allowance. That one too, there were 200 cedis, summing up to 600 Ghana cedis. Then we have the car wash. The car wash was 50 Ghana cedis. If you sum them up, you get 6,122 Ghana cedis. Honorable Speaker, we continue with the second Look Central Committee meeting. It was the same document you brought. Okay. That wasn't a residential, it was a one-day convention.
Honorable President,
yes.
I would suggest respectfully that you just give us the amounts. Once honorable members are privy to the documents, so that we'll move faster.
That's okay. That's okay.
So
we have the Looks Central Committee meeting, the second one. The amount used was 5,020 Ghana cedis. We have the Looks Congress. The total amount spent was 52,500 Ghana cedis. Then we have the mass registration of SIM cards. The amount used was 5,499 Ghana cedis. We have the student loan town hall meeting. The amount used was 600 Ghana cedis. We have the WUCOM's expenses. Sponsorship tour. The amount used was 460 Ghana cedis. We have the Female Students Summit. The amount used for that particular summit was 1,403 Ghana cedis. We have the Leadership Summit. Amount used was 640 Ghana cedis. We have the Miss UEW winners for last academic year. That was as in Rubin's administration. If we all could recall, our able president said they spent into our coffers. Yes, the winners, they had to spend from our coffers, so their reward was gotten from what we were supposed to work with. And that was 3,324 Ghana cedis that was used to cater for that. In total, the amount used for the semester is 76,132 Ghana cedis. Right, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Islam. If we have any contributions or suggestions on the proposal presented by the Vice President, we are taking just three and we proceed. If there are no suggestions, Your Excellency, kindly move for the acceptance of the report as a written document in the House.
I, Ishaq Ishmael Tohisum, local news president, I humbly move for the acceptance of this financial statement. Thank you. As a true working document of the House.
Any second? Yes. Thank you. On these notes, the financial statement presented by the local news secretariat for the first semester 2021-2022 academic year has been duly accepted as a true working document of the House. The House, we will move straight to the AOB, and we are going to limit ourselves to just 3 submissions. We'll take our announcements, and we are out of here. Yes, only the second nomination. I think I will give you a chance to submit. Conference psychology level 200 to be precise. In your proceedings today, I quite remember that you tried to at least, should I say, put some departments in favor than other departments. And this House, to be put on record, does not consist of a single department here. So if you are all to use our powers here, I don't think there will be a democratic constitution and a ruling here. So I would like to draw your notice that in your next proceedings, you shouldn't try to speak in a speech that goes in favor of some departments, leaving others around. To be frank, my department is one of the best, and I can't point to it around by the junior seats. The honorable behind the deputy speaker. The one is you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I have a suggestion to the president the welfare of the chiefs. Yes, Mr. President, we the students of legal, we've realized that you are a hardworking president, and you are doing well. Honorable, kindly amplify your voice. I can see His Excellency is struggling to hear you. I'm saying that we, the students of Uew, we realize that the president is doing well, especially to those of us who are students with special needs. And this is a suggestion that I'm going to suggest to him if he can't intervene. It's all about the welfare of students. Looking at our hostels issues on campus, especially the campus hostels. When holidays like short period like this, some of the students don't have the intention or willing to go home. They will not be allowed, or they are not being allowed to stay on campus. Sometimes they also have to pay additional money or pay daily basis. And I don't know, if you go outside and rent, is it equally the same? Or there are some differences that normally you can stay outside if you want, you can stay, or you
Winnie Hall, for instance, the school shelter don't come there. So we do work on the route. And looking at the nature of the route.
Honourable Member,
Looking at the nature of
kindly
the route.
summarize. I think when you make your points, you make them spot on so that we move.
Looking at the nature of the route, when we are walking there, and then the way the drivers they drive on campus is something that baffles us. Even one of our sisters was knocked down by a taxi driver, even in the extent that the white king got broken.
Oh, so sorry.
So, Honorable Mr. President, I want to put it before you in the House. Let us all come together to educate or to inform our colleagues on campus as to what we need to do in order to stop this kind of speeding on campus.
Point well made, Honourable Member.
Thank you.
Let me give the last chance to a lady. So the lady by the air conditioner.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I chair the House. Please, suggesting the next please let's give preference to the interpreter. He's still here for quite some hours, and then we don't do it that way. You have to get 2 or more interpreters. Thank you.
Honourable, point well noted. So on this note, I think if you are not getting tired, some of us are really tired. And truth be told, for the past 1 or 2 weeks now, I've not had any proper sleep because of the arrangements for this early. So please, we are not asking you not to speak, but if we want to listen to everybody, we will not leave here. And looking at enhanced, if they were just 1 or 2, I could be a little lenient, but the hands are so many. Honourable members, we shall proceed to take our announcements and take our remarks and move on from here. We have some few announcements. The tags for honourable members are out there. Those who have not had yes. Some we have genuine concerns for some whose details were not captured. So please, if your data was not captured and you have not received your tag, kindly consult the class after here and have your data retaken so that the tag will be given to you. When the tag is made, it becomes a pass for your entry to LA. And if you are wearing it and you enter the SRC chapters, please, it is going to be for free. Don't give it to your brother because he has come to you and said he doesn't have money. And you decide that, oh, then take my tag because SRC chapter there, when you enter, it's free for local assembly members. Let us take note of that. As part of the major activities of the assembly for the semester, we had the orientation, we had the first LA, which was successful. We are having the second one, which by the grace of God will be successful. In preparation for the next semester, we will be having major activities for the house. And it is with great joy I am announcing to you that we are planning a mega excursion for all local assembly members. Just that we're paying for it. We'll be embarking on a discussion and we'll pay for it. So let's prepare when we go home. The house, we can't serve our students and we'll go out and we will not benefit in any way from the council. So we are making arrangements that at least when we finish our service to the council at the end of the year, there should be something special we can boast of as being part of the house. we are preparing a special package on CV writing and then sending interviews for all local assembly members. So as you go home, prepare your mind that next semester, major activities like that will be happening for all local members, local assembly members to benefit. And